getting shipped today. You know where it is? I'm so freaking nervous. I got shipped today. Oh my gosh, my hand's a key. Are you kidding me? Amber, look, my hand's a key.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to my teachers, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Sincere salutations to all the Akim out there presenting their bodies in a living sacrifice to make sure this word is preached throughout the four corners of the earth. So yeah, there we have it. Not much needs to be said. This is if it's not clear by now what the mark of the beast is, then maybe you just need to consider that the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah is not dealing with you. It's clearly this chip. All right, and this is something that they're soon going to start rolling out. All right, go to the precept, of course, in Revelation 13 and 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." All right. So, what I want to touch on a little bit is verse 16 when it says, "And he causeth all." I just wanted just went to look this up in the etymology of that word "cause." It says reason or motive for decision, grounds for action. All right, reading on down, it says, I'll just read it on out. It says, "And from old French cause, cause reason, lawsuit, cause in law, and directly from Latin, causa, a cause, a reason." All right, so pretty much, Esau, he's gonna set it up to where pretty much, he's gonna give you a reason to take this chip. All right, and clearly, with everything that's going on, with the skirt of Esau being revealed, with this, with this whole pandemic situation, this is the perfect opportunity to, give everyone a reason to, take this chip, in their right hand or in the forehead. All right, people losing jobs. All right, pretty much everything's going more towards a digital society. When it comes to the food shortages, he's going to start. He's going to start. Pretty much, like the Hunger Games. With rationing and things of that nature. Pretty much, if you don't have that chip, then you won't be able to buy or sell, as the precept says. You won't be able to do anything. All right. Play that video again.
I'm getting shipped today. You know where it is? I'm so freaking nervous. I got shipped today. Oh my gosh, my hand's a key. Are you kidding me? Amber, look, my hand's a key.
So yeah, like you see, I don't know exactly where that video was taken. I wouldn't be surprised if it was taken in Sweden, because they pretty much already got that. They are already functioning under this chip already, so I wouldn't be surprised. But for sure, I don't know where this video was taken. But yeah, brothers always talking about Esau, and his craftiness. He's going to present this in a way where it's convenient for everyone. All right, soon the society is going to be the dollar is gonna completely collapse. And hey, with like I said, with everything that's going on, um, this chip is gonna be the answer to all things. All right, and you read the title, it says "Mark of the Beast," and it says there's a question mark. Because people are starting to wake up. People are starting to find out and waking out of that sleep. Slumber. People are starting to understand that, hey, this is the chip, man. This chip is the mark of the beast. That is spoken about in Revelations. All right. So again, this is why, Esau, he's gonna, you know, um, pretty much, ease this into the minds of people. All right. They've been putting it in the shows for years. All right. He's gonna ease this into society, gradualism. He's gonna build the society into accepting this. That's why at first, they're going to make it voluntary, and then soon after, they're going to make it mandatory. They're going to put it into law. You have to take this chip. All right. Because again, going back to the precept, you know, when in verse 17, and when it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So again, if you don't have that chip, then, you can't function in society. All right, you won't be able to buy or sell, conduct business, or do anything. But I was curious, and just scroll down through the comments just to see what people's mark, or what people's um thoughts on this was. And I came across this particular comment. I think it was this one. Yeah, this particular comment, it says, I really don't get the paranoia surrounding this type of stuff. People need to realize the government doesn't have the capability of tracking every single person. There's simply no way any agency will be able to literally follow every single human in America day by day. We all are not that special that they even care what we do on a daily basis. They're not going to have enough people, first off, to even follow each citizen, but also they are not going to want to watch you drive to work, stop for gas, run by the bank, etc. It's simply not logical. I personally wouldn't have one because it's a foreign object and you can really mess around and get a bad infection, weird side effects, etc. Well, um, to an extent, this person is partly true and he's partly false. Because the government, which not even the government, they're all puppets, but even more so they're the top elites of the world. Their whole mission is to track every single individual. That's exactly what this chip is about. Esau, he wants to be like the Most High, as it speaks about in Thessalonians. He wants to be able to track all your whereabouts. That's why you see pretty much everything that you do, it can be tracked. There's cameras on every corner, every street. A GPS in your phones and your your vehicles everywhere. Um, you got a what do you call it? Social security number. You use your credit card because you leave paper trails. All that. That's their whole goal, is to track every single individual on this, on the face of this earth. All right. They want to know where you're at, what you're doing. And, it gets deeper than that. They want to be able to control your soul at the end of the day. All right. They want to be able to run your spirit. All right. So, again, ultimately, Esau, he wants to be like the Most High. He wants to exalt himself like the Most High. All right. As it says, matter of fact, pull a precept real quick. What is that? Well, before I get that, where's that at? What it talks about? Well, matter of fact, let me go ahead and get this before it slips in my mind. In Obadiah, the first chapter, verse 4, it says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh." All right. So Esau, being the high-minded, self-proclaimed, power that he wants to be, that he thinks of himself. All right. They send their little, satellites out there in outer space, and that's how they're able to do these things. That's how they're able to track all individuals, through technology. And that's what I wanted to get. Again, Esau with this, they got their high towers and, the high-rise buildings and things, skyscraper buildings and things like that. But even more so, they got their satellite systems out there in outer space. All right. And tracking GPS and all that stuff. All right. So how are they able to do that? What's that? Ezekiel 28:3. All right, let's go there. Through technology. All right. Ezekiel 28, verse 3, it says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from me." All right. So again, through their technology, they were able to accomplish this. And that chip is the end all be all, man. It's the end game. All right. They're gonna get pretty damn far when it comes to fulfilling their enterprise. But as it read in as it's just read in Obadiah, Yahweh Shemir Shai is gonna take him out. All right. So matter of fact, going back to that same comment, it says, "I personally wouldn't." At the latter part, it says, "I personally wouldn't have one because it's a foreign object, and you could really mess around and get a bad infection, weird side effects, etc." Which is that's the part, like I say, he was partially wrong, but he's partly true, and that part is true. All right, and like I said, that's why a lot of people are starting to wake up to the fact that this chip is, in fact, the mark of the beast. All right, because you take that chip, it will be a grievous sore unto you, as it says in Revelations. What is that? Revelations. Let me try 16. Revelation 16 and starting at verse 2, it says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. All right. So again, if you take that chip, you are going to have some type of negative side effects, because like that comment, that random person said, you're sticking something foreign in the body. All right. And, the body's prone to, it's going to react a certain type of way. So, a lot of people, you take that chip, you're going to always, use different examples. Someone might have cancer or foaming at the mouth or whatever the case may be, however your body, takes that chip, however your body reacts to it. Because, all of our bodies react differently to, certain things. But it's going to be made known, you take that chip, because a lot of people are going to take it in secrecy, but either way, whether you take that chip knowingly or unknowingly, you take that chip willfully or, in secret, it's going to be made known. All right. You might have boars, cysts, or whatever the case may be. All right. It's going to be made known. All right. So, it's just best not to take that chip. All right. Because if you take that chip, what is that? If it's just 14. If you take this chip, all right, there's no repentance. You take that chip, you're done. All right. Where's that at? Where am I at? Revelations 14:9. It says, this is for people who take that chip. Revelations 14:9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand." All right, so you notice how it says in his hand, verses in Revelations for the 13th chapter. It says in your right hand. No matter where you take that chip, whether it be the leg, the thigh, lower back, wherever you take it, all right? If you take it, you're done, all right? Reading on verse 10, it says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, all right? So if you take that chip and somehow you make it to the day that Yahweh Shai shows up, ultimately you're going to eat a missile. All right, you're going to be purged with nuclear missile heat and fire. All right, so it's best not to take that chip. All right, of course only the elect. They're going to stand firm in the faith, and they're going to resist that faith. They're going to resist that chip. All right, so that's all I had on that. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. I came across that video. And that's all I had on that. That's all I wanted to talk about. So with that being said, once again, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Bashim Shai, double honors, much respects to my teachers, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.